Madam Secretary, we deal with investor protection in this committee. The SEC is looking at swing pricing rules dealing with mutual funds that will undermine investor protection. And the word is out that it is the FSOC, yourself and the Fed, that somehow believe and are pushing the SEC to have these regulations to prevent a precipitous sell-off in U.S. securities should there be a crisis. I just want to ask, I'm not going to ask you a question at this point, but I'd hope you'd re-examine your position there, because telling the American people there's a crisis, we don't want you to sell your stocks, we're going to impose a penalty on you for selling your mutual funds, is one way to get them running toward the exit. So it's bad investor protection, it's bad systemic regulation. I do hope that you'll leave it to the SEC what they do on swing pricing. Your testimony talked about the IMF. Pakistan is engaged in negotiations right now. This is a unique opportunity to help the people of Pakistan, but also a unique opportunity to focus on human rights, democracy, and timely elections in Pakistan. And I hope that the U.S. voice is being used there to push Pakistan toward democracy and human rights. Iran has special drawing rights at the IMF, and I wonder how we as a Congress can reauthorize IMF and leave that untouched. IMF may ultimately have to decide, do they want American participation or do they want Iran to have special drawing rights? In March of 2023, this year, Secretary Blinken identified that the Amhara regional forces in northern Ethiopia were engaged in ethnic cleansing and war crimes. The Human Rights Watch has identified 2 particular individuals that are responsible for those war crimes, and I hope that the Treasury would look at sanctioning those 2 individuals. Believe it or not, I have a question. We have a capital gains allowance that costs us tens of billions of dollars that is justified as encouraging people to make investment that helps an economy grow. And maybe that makes sense unless the economy you're growing is China. Can you think of a reason why we use the tax system to subsidize U.S. investment in Chinese companies?
I'm sorry, in what way do we?
Well, if you if you work hard and earn money, you pay the full ordinary income tax rate. But if instead you invest in Huawei and the price goes up and you make the same amount of money, you pay a much lower rate. And if you die while holding that, you get a step up in basis and you pay no tax at all. So the full panoply of investment incentives built into our tax code is there for China. Is there a reason why we're incentivizing investments in Chinese stocks?
Well, we have policies about how we tax capital gains on assets and
Can you think of why we provide these subsidies, apply these to Chinese stocks, except that we got lazy and we wrote them up for all stocks and we forgot China?
This is the policy that we have for all assets,
I look forward to
Chinese
working
assets.
with you to come up with a policy that makes some foreign policy sense. Finally, the chair talked about crypto and said we need a regulatory scheme. I want to say we have a regulatory scheme. We have the securities laws. Thank God Gensler is enforcing them. But we also have recently adopted tax laws dealing with crypto. The Inflation Reduction Act said you've got to report on Form 1099. In December of last year, Treasury announced that crypto brokers, however, wouldn't have to report until final regulations were issued. These final regulations have been approved by the OMB, but remain unissued. Mr. Lynch and I sent you a letter just recently urging you. The SEC has proved they're not afraid of the crypto bros. I know you're not afraid of the crypto bros. I hope the IRS is not afraid of them. When are we going to see these regulations so that if you make a profit on selling your crypto, you at least have to pay taxes on it?
We will get back to you on that shortly.
Thank you.